Here we have my dashboard from the last Excel video where I created a order more and a out of stock using VLOOKUP and if values. Now we're going to look in combining those into the same cell instead of having two separate cells. So right now we have looking up this value, going to the current inventory and checking to see if the inventory is less than or equal to the reordering point, which is what we have up here. We now want to add, if it is 0, we want it to say out of stock. To do that, first we need to nest an AND statement because we want to take 0 out of this equation, because right now, even if I nest an if statement in to say if it's 0, say something else, this first statement will take priority, and since it's less than or equal to 0, will still show up as order more, and we want to change that. So we have our if and then we want to go all the way down, following the formula, down until right before we say order more. And we're going to throw in another VLOOKUP. So if it is this formula and it is VLOOKUP, the same E12, which is anchored, comma, the same array, inventory, which goes from here all the way down, and actually I think I went a little further just in case I add more. And we want to anchor that, comma, the column, comma, false, so that it will be exact. And then we want greater than 0, close parenthesis, comma. So now we have it. Since this one's at 0, now it's vanished because I haven't added the other part of the formula. So here now it says if and. If this statement is less than or equal to this statement, and this statement is greater than 0, it will say out of stock. So now since it is exactly 0, it's not going to say it. But if I find one, there we go. It'll still say order more if it is less than or equal to, but not including 0. So now we want to make the formula for the 0, for the out of stock. So we will go all the way back down to the end. So we have it saying order more. And after order more, we're going to nest in another if statement. If the VLOOKUP of, oops, sorry, I already have a parenthesis. This statement, anchored, this array, anchored, column 4, remember the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, this one, right here, column 4, close parenthesis, if that section equals 0, comma, oops, I accidentally bumped something, okay, equals 0, comma, out of stock, exclamation point, get rid of that extra space, out of stock, exclamation point, and then we have our final else. If none of these is true, then we'll just have it blank. and we need another closing parenthesis. Enter. What did we miss? That should say out of stock. So let's double check what we are missing. And right here, I forgot the false. So we've always got to put exact match. Otherwise, this will not work. So, false. And now, when I press enter, it's going to say out of stock, or it's going to say order more, or it's going to be blank. Then we want to add the conditional formatting onto it. So we've got this formatting for out of stock. Now I go into conditional formatting, highlight. Now you cannot do the equal to. This only works with values. So we want text that contains. What does the text contain? Out of stock. So we want the text to contain out of stock, and then we want a custom format. We want to, let's say I want it white and bold. I want the same format, the same pattern, the same color that I have down there. So that should now, okay. So now when I go, it'll say order more because we already formatted that for if it's blank. We formatted for, if it's not blank, then if it is blank, nothing happens. But if it is out of stock, it will now say that. And we can now delete that formula, which deletes the conditional formatting. So no need to do anything else. Now, it will all work in the same